Saturday Fight Night. This is the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship. Please welcome into the ring from Liverpool, the challenger, Stephen Smith.
So not so warm welcome for the Commonwealth Featherweight title challenger Stephen Smith.
In actual fact, Ian, I thought that was, for Glasgow, quite a warm welcome.
Well, plenty of boos in the arena for the young Scouser, who challenges the home man this evening, John Simpson. Not only is he up against an established champion in Simpson, but he'll have the crowd against him as well. When you fought all over the world as an amateur and won the kind of trophies that Stephen Smith has, you're not too bothered by that. And here's the man who'll be fighting this evening, who enters Glasgow's Kelvin Hall to a standing ovation. He's had to go on the road in his career, John Simpson. Won his titles as the away man. He's been on the wrong end of controversial decisions as well, but he gets something of a homecoming this evening. He's been growing better and better with each and every fight. He's a very, very experienced campaigner. In fact, he's had more fights at championship level than Stephen Smith has had fights. So coming into this one, he's been very, very confident. Marches straight over to Smith's corner, only to see the challenger with his back to him. But this one, could be fight of the night. Could well be fight of the year. What a way to kick off the new season. It's a real pick-em affair. We'll get the opinions of Colin Hart in just a moment. First, we're going to get the introductions from our MC, Mr. Mark Burdiss. We just see the odds there, and it's Smith with that outstanding amateur record, who's just a slight favourite. Simpson, despite being champion and all that experience, is the outsider.
But you were right, Ian, it's virtually a pick-em fight.
It really is, and here's the introductions with MC Mark Burdiss.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frank Warren, in association with FrankWarren.tv and sponsored by Verve and Glasgow City Council, proudly present 12 3-minute rounds for the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship, live and exclusive from the Kelvin Hall here in Glasgow and on Sky Sports HD Saturday Fight Night. Your officials are appointed by the Commonwealth Boxing Council and the British Boxing Board of Control, and your 3 scoring judges at ringside are Mr. Phil Edwards of Preston, Mr. Ian John Lewis of Gillingham, and Mr. Victor Loughlin of Paisley. Your steward in charge is Mr. Bernard Connolly, your timekeeper the bell is Rick Gilmore, and when the action begins, your referee in charge is Mr. Terry O'Connor of Birmingham. And now, to introduce the contestants, firstly, the challenger, wearing the black and gold shorts, weighing in at 8 stone 13 pounds 4 ounces, fighting out of the red corner. He enters a ring unbeaten with 10 wins from 10 contests, with 6 wins by knockout. Presenting and introducing the challenger for the title from Liverpool, Stephen Smith. And across the ring stands the champion. Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white and gold shorts, weighing in 8 stone, 13 pounds, 6 ounces. He brings with him a record of 21 wins from 27 contests, with 9 of those wins ending inside the distance. Tonight he makes the 3rd defence of the Commonwealth title and his first here in Scotland. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing the former British featherweight champion and the current and reigning Commonwealth champion from Greenock in Scotland, John Simpson. Your referee will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Well, there was a little rubbing of heads before the introductions, which referee Terry O'Connell didn't like at all. I hope in his instructions he's telling them to behave themselves.
That was the voice of Colin Hart. I'm Ian Axon. You're joining us ringside here on frankwarren.tv for what could well be a cracker. These Commonwealth title fights, well, sometimes they're a bit flat, but this one has got excitement written all over it. It's defending champion John Simpson against young prospect Stephen Smith. It's a real pick-em affair. It won't lack for atmosphere either, with Simpson cheered on by a packed Kelvin Hall. Both men come forward, all action fighters. Very unlikely to have to go looking for each other. And once the blue touch paper's lit, it's likely to explode. Colin Hart.
Yes, the only thing that worries me on Smith's behalf is that Simpson's had 5 12-round fights in his career, and Smith has only been 8 rounds once. And it is a big ask, actually, that his promoter, Frank Warren's asking of the kid from Liverpool. 10 fights, fought really nobody against a seasoned pro like Simpson.
Well, Simpson's actually had 11 championship fights. He's gone the distance 5 times, a full 12 rounds, but he's trained for 12 rounds 11 times. A real warrior, and he's had no gimmies either. Every fight he's been in at title level, it's been a real competitive affair. He's taken on some of the best domestically. A real test this for Stephen Smith. He's got the amateur pedigree, Smith. 2006 Commonwealth Games gold medalist, nearly went to the Olympics in 2008. Comes from a very successful boxing family. Big brother Paul is a British super middleweight champion.
And Paul's right at ringside tonight too.
He knows what it takes to win these kind of fights. I'm going to find out if Stephen Smith has what it takes this evening. It's been a positive start from both boxers. No one's really got on top yet. Had around 2 minutes of this opening round.
Smith is taking the fight to Simpson.
He's a good body shot that from Simpson on the break. Not much between them at the moment.
Smith looks to be a faster puncher than Simpson. And he's certainly not bothered by the fact that he's in the champion's backyard. He seems to have the right temperament, because he's gone straight after Simpson. Simpson's a little wild there, I thought, Ian.
Yep.
Leaving himself open.
The end of the first round, both boxers will feel happier for having got through it.
Very difficult to split them. I'm going to give a edge to Smith on extra aggression, but there's very little between them.
There's a bit of a toss-up. We're seeing pictures now of Simpson in his corner. And some good sparring with Ricky Burns. Appleby as well in the build-up to this one. Burns and Simpson have really worked hard together.
I suppose with 3 fighting brothers, I suppose Stephen could have all the sparring he wants in his front room.
He can. The really good family, the Smith family. Callum and Liam, younger brothers as well, were both outstanding amateurs too. I think Stephen's probably the pick of them. From what we've seen so far, he's really impressed in his short professional career. 10 wins, plenty of stoppages. He's also a really class act. He's been crying out for a title shot for some time. Maybe didn't quite expect one as tough as this. And most prospects are given one in their own backyard, aren't they, Colin, against a guy they're expected to beat.
He wouldn't have been put in this fight without his own knowledge. I mean, he would have discussed it with Warren and no doubt said, yes, Frank, go get him, that's who I want. He's making Simpson miss with a couple of shots as he prods home his left jab.
If he does come through this test tonight, Smith, there'll be some exciting times up on Liverpool. Paul's defending his British title in October against Darren McDermott. Yeah,
October the 23rd, that date.
Can expect to see good fights for Stephen Smith as well. This one, of course, is an eliminator for the British title currently held by Martin Lindsay. Lindsay's interested in taking on either one of these two. There's some ready-made big fights out there. O'Connor a little unhappy there with Simpson. Stephen Smith will take heart, Colin, from the fact that his close friend Derry Matthews holds a win over Simpson.
Yeah, that was a bit of a war, wasn't it, in Liverpool?
An absolute war. Remember Simpson covering the fight, covered in blood. Just being outboxed here by Stephen Smith.
Yeah, he's quicker, isn't he? He's much faster on his feet and faster with his hands. But there's a long, long way to go, and Simpson certainly knows how to pace himself over the championship distance.
Well, the worry is, isn't it, Colin, that Smith might buzz around for 6 rounds and look really good. But then as we get into the second half of the fight, all that experience of John Simpson will come into effect. Paul Smith watches intently on from ringside and gets to his feet as younger brother just probably edging this round. Again, just makes Simpson miss as he feints and sticks out that jab.
Well,
just a little nod there from Stephen Smith as he went back to the corner and a shake of the fist as if to say, yep, I'm in control.
Yeah, that was quite an impressive round by young Smith. I thought there was clear daylight between the two of them that time. But as I say, it's only the end of round 2 and there's a hell of a long way to go. And it's quite hot in here too. It's a warm night in Glasgow and a packed Kelvin Hall and the television lights. I don't know what the temperature is in the ring, but I bet it's up there near 100 degrees.
It's quite a warm night, certainly for Glasgow in September. I'll tell you what, the atmosphere red hot in here at the moment. Be even hotter in an hour's time. I mean, Ricky Burns challenges for the WBO super featherweight title, but for the moment, we've got domestic matters on our hands. It's John Simpson against Stephen Smith with the Commonwealth featherweight title up for grabs. It's currently owned by Simpson. Smith says he's coming back to Liverpool. Been outboxed before, John Simpson, and in Scotland too. Andy Morris did a job on him at the Braehead Arena. It was 4 or 5 years ago. Morris looked the real deal that night. Simpson beat Morris in a rematch on a cut and then stopped him in the rubber fixture.
You know, when they get in the clinches, I get the impression that Smith is the stronger of the two, and he seems to be pushing Simpson around.
So ticking off there, Stephen Smith, for pulling Simpson's head down. Kind of underlined your point, didn't it, Colin, that Smith looked the stronger. Simpson's not a huge puncher either. Tends to wear down opponents. Did stop Stephen Bell to win this title. It's being made to look a little one-paced at the moment by Stephen Smith. There's a cut somewhere, I think. Or is there?
Can't see one. And who do you think's cut?
No. Animation at ringside. There is a bit of blood around. There's some blood on
Probably
the
from
right
the
shoulder
nose.
of John Simpson.
Probably from the nose then, if it's on his shoulder.
Oh no, there is a cut.
Is there?
On
Yes,
Smith's,
you're right. I can see blood now
Smith's
on
right
Smith's
eye.
face. Well, he's got the best cut man in the country.
Yeah, Mick
Yes,
Williamson's in his corner.
now the blood is definitely appearing, running down the side of Smith's right side of his face.
I don't think it's in the worst position, Colin.
No, it's right in the corner. So the blood is not running in his eye, it's running down the side of his face. But it won't do him any good. The cut's a cut. Something for Simpson to work on. But as I say, he's got
He's had a couple of wins over.
Mick Williamson in his corner, best cut man, if not certainly in the country and maybe in the world.
Well, he really came to prominence, didn't he, with Ricky Hatton? I know he'd been around a long time before that, but Hatton really put Williamson on the map.
That's when he became, shall we say, well known throughout the world, dealing with those cuts.
Every time Hatton fought, it was real heart in the mouth stuff. Better around that for Simpson. Had a couple of wins before on cuts, John Simpson.
I don't think it's serious. It's right away from his eye. And yes, it's right in the corner. Probably Williamson saying, don't worry about it, son, it's nothing. Just a nick.
I want to see how it happened here.
Yes.
Clash of heads.
Clash of heads. Accidental, hasten to add, but a definite clash of heads. But it wasn't head on, if you know what I mean. It was to the clash of heads was to the right side of.
It was a glancer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You just see the cut there. It's,
Yeah.
as I said, not in the worst place.
But it'll be a psychological boost for Simpson, if nothing else.
So how will Smith react? Does he change the game plan? Switch to more defensive tactics?
I don't think so. I don't think his corner will have told him to take more defensive role. Not unless it gets worse. But see, Simpson looks encouraged already.
Yeah, he got tagged with a short right hand there, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Smith, and just got the crowd interested. His legs just stiffen momentarily. Paul Smith suffers from cuts as well, so maybe it's a problem that runs in the family.
Well, if you get hit by a head, there's every chance that you're going to get cut.
It's a better round this for Simpson. Just catches Smith with a
It's the best round so far from him, in my view.
little left hand. Well, Smith finding himself a little bit out of his depth here. Marches forward, but ineffective. And the better work now is coming from John Simpson.
Yeah, he counted him well then as Smith went on the attack. Yeah, this is easily Simpson's best round. He's catching Smith as he comes in.
It looks as if he's kind of warming up into the fight, doesn't he, John Simpson? It's better from Smith. And just catches Stephen Smith again. Taken places he's not been before. Stephen Smith this evening, I think.
Well, he will after 8 rounds, that's for sure. If it goes that far, and it looks like it will. Mind you, Smith looks in magnificent condition.
I think if there's a...
Oh, that was a very good left from Simpson. I thought for 1 minute that Smith's legs had sagged. Yes, he's roughing him up now. The older pro, and I think O'Connell spotted it and had a word in his ear. But he definitely put the forearm in then.
Smith looks a little bit like a rabbit caught in the headlights at the moment. That cut's opened up again. Big problems for the young Scouser. He went back to his corner after the first 2 rounds, very confident and cocky.
Well, I've got him level on my card.
Looks a bit more worried now.
His corner looked quite calm. I don't think there's any panic in the Smith corner.
He's a tough cookie though, isn't he, Simpson?
Yes, he is.
Very expressionless, isn't he?
Yeah, deadpan.
One of these guys who just...
Make him probably a better poker player than he is a fighter. Because you don't know what he's feeling or thinking.
I'll tell you what, he's not a bad fighter. Stephen Smith has a little jog after he gets off his stool, almost to gee himself up. Needs to try and keep Simpson away for this round. He's getting roughed up on the inside by the champion.
I think O'Connell just had a little word with Simpson about hitting on the break.
Yeah, he just landed a body shot, didn't he, as Smith backed away. It's beginning to get a little bit messy, this.
Well, Smith, since the cut, seems to have got a little more ragged.
Yeah, he's gone into a shell a little bit as well, hasn't he? He's just trying to pace himself. To miss by Simpson now. And he gets caught on the break again. O'Connor didn't say anything that time. It's got messy in this round.
Yes. But Smith, I think, Simpson rather, has landed the cleaner punches.
This is a change of tactics here from Smith as he goes on the back foot. Double jab. So he stands in front of Simpson. He looks ragged. Punch around the back of the head, which made Simpson stumble. Crowd don't like it.
Neither did O'Connell. Had a word again with Smith.
Oh, good shot that from Simpson, a right hand, just followed the left. Two best punches of the fight. Smith took them well enough.
Well, I think Simpson, as they come towards the halfway stage, I've got Simpson ahead. Not by much, but he's ahead. 1 point.
Sounds about right. Just got the edge at the moment, the champion.
But, as I say, let's emphasise we haven't reached halfway yet. And the second half of the fight will decide it.
He looks, he's almost grown into being a champion, hasn't he, John Simpson? He looks very confident.
Yeah, sure. Well, he's fighting on his home soil, in front of the his home fans, which obviously gives any fighter a boost, although there's no one in there the ring to help him but himself. But it's all part of the psychological battle, which can be as important as the physical one.
Well, at the moment he has the air of a man who's been there and done it all before, which he has.
Yeah, knowing he's against, by comparison, a bit of a novice. I mean,
and all that amateur experience doesn't count for anything.
Unless you're Leon Spinks, who won the world heavyweight title, beating Ali in his 8th professional fight. But he won an Olympic gold.
Well, there's been a few down the years who have made the crossover very quickly. But it's very different fighting 4 2-minute rounds to 12 threes in championship level. Completely different ball game. As Smith is finding out at this very moment.
Well, as I say, as long as he doesn't get hurt, this could do Smith the world of good. He's probably learned more in this fight than he has done in his entire amateur and pro career.
In those clinches, Simpson is beginning to look the stronger. It was Smith at first. Simpson, who's just beginning to dictate things at the moment, beginning to impose himself on this fight. Again, it gets a bit messy, doesn't it, Colin?
Yeah, so when they get inside, it's getting a bit ragged.
This round's turned into a bit of a wrestling match.
I think Smith has lost his composure a bit.
Certainly since he got cut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Seemed to lose his way a little bit. He didn't look panicked when he went back to the corner, but first couple of rounds he was really making Simpson miss. Turning into a war of attrition, this one. Good body shot that from Smith. He hurt Simpson with it. So the fight bursts into action as we reach the end of the 6th round. I wonder if Simpson felt that body shot.
Yeah, he looked as if he did, but the round went to Simpson for me.
Just momentarily, Simpson seemed to buckle over. He came back firing. I'm going to see it back here.
I must say, Smith looks extremely calm in the corner.
It's a left hand to the body. I think Simpson did feel it.
I think as he went back to the corner, there was a sort of triumphant wave of Simpson's arms. I think he knew that despite being hurt with that punch, he'd won the round.